October 6, 2013. We're looking at ground-based images of Comet ISON from last night. I'm going to go through the different filters, and we can still find the four main objects. There may be smaller ones, as we saw in the Hubble images from back in the early summer. But again, these are brand new images. And as I go through the brightness, I'm going to go through the contrast. I'm going to go through the exposure time, and they will stand out. Even again, they're far away, but we can still pick out what's on the inside. And it's important because ISON may be breaking up, even though since May, some of the Hubble images, it has appeared to show multiple objects inside the coma. And we know we have that forward jet that is thousands of miles long. Now here, I do not have the outside coma filter down. That's where the jet really stands out. But again, these are ground-based images, not Hubble space-based. But again, I'm going to go through and let's intensify this. Now you're looking at the cloud, not the object. That center dot that you saw right when we were starting to jack this up is probably close to the size. But again, we're looking at the glow, and there's your four main objects. Again, the initial reports, nobody came in and gave us any information on the nucleus size past the point of the size, a rock the size of Manhattan Island, about 3 by 5 miles. Now, don't know. Hubble won't show us anything. Again, here's your four main objects. The video the last time, it's appeared to be some smaller ones. And with the close approach to Mars, there may have been some shifting in here. Now, Mars is different from Earth because of the lack of the atmosphere and that external shield. It does not have it. Back in the ancient Sumerian text, it talks about as the solar system of Nibiru came close to our solar system, it tore that protective shield in the atmosphere away from Mars. Now, at that time, and they just now discovered it, that Mars has enough ice on the poles and in different higher elevations that if it melted, Mars could be covered in over 100 feet of water. So it's like God had a plan if that happened. And something happened because there's evidence of oceans on Mars now and rivers and valleys where the water ran through. Now, I'm going to put a link to a video where a lady came in and was smart enough to put her camera on Mars during the close approach of ISON. Now, we've got, when you saw that, we've got caps on the southern pole and northern pole of Mars, is what you're looking at, and they're just like our polar caps. They have ice, but they're also, again, in the higher elevations. The other thing they have is 25 major volcanoes. You're looking at 4 of the larger ones here. This is an overlay of the United States map just to show you how big they are. That one is so much bigger than Mount St. Helens and Rainier in that area that it's shocking, but they're not the big one. Right there, Olympus Mons, or the mountain of Olympus, is 3 times the size of Mount Everest. Guys, Mount Everest is over 29,000 feet high. It's 3 times that size. It's the largest volcano in the solar system. Imagine that. I'm going to move it over just to compare. You got California, Washington here, and Oregon. And as look at the Olympus Mons, they call it. I call it Mount Olympus. But look at the size of that when you bring it over and look at it, compare on these states here. Going down through California, it's wider than California would go into Nevada, all the way through there. It's huge. And Mars is smaller than Earth. But is that what we're seeing on that image? Are we seeing, and that was a temporary thing. And in other words, now it seems to have calmed down for the people that are looking at the Mars images now. This is a 3D image of Mars with those volcanoes. They're that big. They stick out that far. And look at it from, this is such a great distance, it doesn't look that big. But on the right, you're looking at Mount Everest. It's 3 times bigger than that, the largest mountain on Earth. Now, what have we seen? Did we see a temporary effect? Have we seen God's hand in the making of restoring the atmosphere on Mars? We don't know. We're just watching, guys.